like.
Oh, congratulations. I'm also
No.
really like, and it's within a very short
Time.
period.
Yeah. It's called determination, girl. Determination.
Mm-hmm.
Until you cannot be determined anymore. We'll talk about that
Mm-hmm.
some other time. So, and then I fly to Germany.
Mm-hmm.
So, before I tell you what happened to me in Germany, that I had to go back to Kenya after only 4 days.
Really?
Yeah, can you maybe tell us how now you got your agent, you're preparing
Okay.
for your visa, how did it go until you get
So,
the visa, until now it's time to fly? Hi everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to One Word Podcast. We are your hosts. My name is Caroline Goku.
And I am Joy Kabuga, and this is a safe space where you can have candid conversations, authentic about relocating and finding balance in our lives abroad and everything in between.
Yes, please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on all our social media platforms. All the links are in the description box in this video. And thank you so much for your support, guys. So on today's episode, are you excited, Joy?
Yes, I am.
Oh, me too. I'm super, super excited. And
Yeah.
first things first, congratulations. We did this, girl.
We did it.
Yes.
Congratulations
Yeah.
too.
Thank you.
It's been a long time coming.
I know. I couldn't have done it without you.
Yeah, me too.
Should we cry? No. Okay. So the one word of this episode is
relocation.
yes.
And this is a very interesting conversation, especially because, given the circumstances, very many people are relocating. And it's an easy conversation to have to start with.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us how you planned your journey for you to want to come to relocate to Germany and why Germany.
So first of all, I would say I knew from a very young age.
Did you?
I wanted to leave Kenya. I don't know why. It's not like I hate my home. I love it. But from a very, very young age, I really wanted to move outside. And so if I can just tell a little bit about myself, is I'm Caroline and I live in Germany, and I've been living in Germany for the last 5 years.
Oh wow, girl.
Yes, like I'm gonna have a 5-year anniversary.
How do you feel about it? I mean, it's a really big achievement, especially
You
being
think?
Yeah, because many people really struggle like this.
Girl, I struggle. We get there. I struggle, but so relocating, I knew from a very young age that I wanted to move, but I didn't know how. And from where I come from, I knew there was not going to be finances that my mom or my dad would not give me any money to be like, okay, you want to go to America? Here, go. So how I moved is I looked for ways online on how to relocate on a budget.
Did you?
Yes, I did. And also, I had seen, I have a friend who moved to Germany when we were very young. I think after Form 4, she just came. And I started asking her, how can I come? How can I come? So, as in having somebody to ask also motivated me to know that I know her and she went to Europe. So, I kept on the dream of, I'm going to go. I wanted to go immediately after my Form 4, but my parents are like, no, you have to go to university first before we let you do your thing. The 844 system from your parents. And so I did my school, and when I finished, I'm telling you, I finished my university. I graduated in August, and I was in Europe in November.
Why?
Yeah, like I really wanted to move. Like
that is so good.
It is good, but then it tells you how much I really wanted to go away. So for me, relocating was something that I always wanted to do, and so far I'm happy I did it. And that's how I ended up. And why Germany? I don't have a reason. I guess it was the most easiest place to come.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
So when you envisioned coming abroad, it wasn't you weren't specific about where abroad you want to go to?
No.
Why not Uganda? I mean, Uganda was abroad.
Uganda, where I was going with the bus. No, I was like, no.
You wanted to take a plane.
Yeah, and I was so naive. You know what I thought? I thought when you want to relocate, you just buy a flight ticket, you go to the airport and you go. I didn't know about passport. I didn't know about visa. So when I started digging online.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, oh, I need a passport. Okay, I applied for a
Yeah.
passport. And then I need a visa. And then I need an interview. I was like, for me, it was a learning experience because I
Yeah.
did everything literally alone.
Did
Before we get
you?
for me how I made the process to
Yeah.
come here, maybe you can tell us why did you want to relocate and why Germany for you too?
So I grew up. My dad is very big on education,
Oh wow.
and every single one of us, I feel as though, my dad is always expecting after you're done with. He's always like, after you're done with this, you need to progress to the next level.
Yeah.
So automatically after primary, and then you go to high school, which is like the normal Kenyan system,
Yeah.
and then obviously after you're done with the uni, uh he's expecting like, oh, when are you gonna do your masters, when are you gonna do your PhD?
Oh
Yeah.
really?
And then for some weird reason, I think it's just like the thinking. My dad's thinking is like, no, masters in Kenya, it doesn't
It's not
give.
giving.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think that was how it was.
Yeah.
So I started to look for a school, and also like given how the employment status in Kenya it is. Most
Yeah.
times, like you find very many people who are very well educated,
Yeah.
but the employment system is
It's not
very,
giving.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
very complicated. It's
Mm.
very hard for people. Also, you get like the salaries are really bad.
Yeah.
So obviously, my dad is thinking, when I'm taking you there, I'm expecting when you come back to Kenya, you're gonna be the next president.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
So I think that's how the idea came to mind, and then I started to look for a country.
Yeah.
Where do I want to go, and I had to consult an agent. So because I was also very
Oh,
clueless of where I want
okay.
to go to, and then that's how Germany came into the picture, because if compared to many countries,
Yeah.
and also I was really scared first of going to Canada because that was my first option.
I was just about to tell you, if I had all the options that you are saying,
Yeah.
like you have, it seems like you're moving here was totally support from your
Yeah.
parents, which is very, very nice. If I had the chance that you are saying you have,
Yeah.
I would never come to Germany.
Really?
I would never. Like, first of all, the language,
Yeah.
it's totally different. And there is America, there is UK, there is Canada, there is Australia,
Yeah.
and I think in your situation, I would have chosen any other English or India
Yeah.
even. You could have
Yeah.
gone to India.
I could have gone to India.
Yeah.
You're right. It's just I wasn't thinking about India at
Yeah.
the moment.
So you mentioned agents.
Yeah.
So your process was done by an agent. Can you tell us
Yeah.
a little bit about that?
So obviously now, because now I'm new to this thing, so
Yeah.
I don't even know what agents to consult.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling through Instagram, and like people are talking about different agents, and
Yeah.
I see this agent.
Mhm.
Am I allowed to mention the name?
No, marketing. Hell.
So this agent,
Yeah.
I went to them,
Mhm.
and then I consulted with them,
Yeah.
and they're like, oh, no, actually don't worry about Canada. Actually what happened is,
Yeah.
we had chosen Canada. I was set, I had the school, everything was ready.
Yeah.
But then now to go to Canada, because I think, I don't know, that was like a complicated system where you cannot just go to masters. I had to like do another course for 2 years, which was equal to like a master's. Okay. And my dad was like, no, that was masters very last direct. Minute. Yeah, we want the name masters. Yeah. So masters it was. So I had to choose another country, and I was kind of happy because I wasn't sure, because I know Canada can be really cold. Yeah. So, and I didn't want to go to America because my sister is there, and I felt like, I want to become independent. Yeah. I craved independence. So I felt like, when I'm still with my sister, I feel like I will still feel like she's taking care of me, and I want to learn how to fend for myself. Oh, wow. How to find my own thing. Yeah. Yeah, and that's how like Germany came into the picture, because they also lied to me that Germans speak a lot of English. So I thought back in my mind, I was like, it's just in Kenya, like that's two national languages. Yeah. So I came here and I thought, I'm gonna survive. It's English and German. Yeah. Oh, shock on you.
Yeah, I know. For me, it was quite different. I didn't use any agent. Yeah. And that's why sometimes when somebody asks me something and you can find all the information on the internet, I'm usually very reluctant to tell you, because I'm like, Google that shit. Google that shit, like you can find all the information. personally, I went online and I looked. So I found the only cheap, because my parents could not afford to
Yeah.
bring me here. I found the only cheap way to come with as an au pair. So I sat down with my laptop. I opened up
How
my
did you know even about au pairs? Like, how did
I
the idea come
because
into
the
your
lady who
mind?
came here, I told you, a friend, she came through au pair.
Okay.
So she let me know. She really helped me on this
Yeah.
one, yeah. And so I created my own profile, and then I started looking for families. Yeah, I'm writing, oh, I come from a big family, I can take care of your kids. But there are people who call ope umboch. It is not. I'm here because of that thing. Yeah, don't
Really?
underestimate it.
Yeah.
Um, so I went on, like, create a profile, and I started messaging family. Oh my god, that's where I started experiencing serious rejection.
Yeah, and I know how
Like,
that can feel, like
yeah,
from
no,
having.
no, but I never gave up. That's the thing. I never gave
Really?
up. Yeah, I never give up so easily. If I give up, I've really tried my best.
So hold up.
Yeah.
Let's flash back.
Yeah.
So you're done with your school.
Yeah.
And this is after you're done with your school. So
Yes.
between August and you said you came here in November.
Yeah, I started applying for families in my 4th year,
Okay.
because I knew I wanted to finish and move.
Yeah.
And I also needed German, like A1. So I knew this time between after university and the time that I will get to fly, because I didn't have a time frame, I will do my German, because they need only A1.
Yeah.
So my 4th year, that's when I started applying for families, texting them, sending them emails. And I was lucky. I got a family that we really bonded. Oh my god, we bonded very well over phone. And they helped me so much. Like I said, I don't come from a background that we have so much money. And I needed to do intensive course. I needed to do driving, because I was in 4th year, and I had not even done driving. The ignorance. Oh my god. Story for another day. And I did driving, and then so this family, they paid a little bit of these things for me. And see the bond with the family. But then when it came time to apply, they relocated to another country, Belgium.
Did they?
Yeah, they were Germans, but now they're living in Belgium. Then I tried to get a visa for Belgium. I couldn't. They said I need to study French. Even if we said that, yeah.
Do they speak French in Belgium?
They have like 4 languages, but the zone where the family was going, it's a French area.
Yeah.
So they demanded I speak French, and I was like, I just finished my very intensive A1. I'm not about to go and do savoir.
Comment ça va?
Comment ça va?
Ça va bien.
See, oui.
Yeah.
I wasn't about to go do that, and it's not a language that I like. So yeah, I went back to the drawing board.
Were you not devastated at this
point? I was depressed. Because I was so excited.
Yeah.
But the thing is, at that point, I had told everybody, yo, your girls live in Kenya. So you can imagine telling people it didn't work out. Okay, somebody jinxed me. I know. Somebody jinxed me. When you want to relocate, never tell anybody. Just do your thing, and then let them bring you to the airport. So I was so devastated. I went back to the drawing board. I started writing to families, and this time I was lucky. I got another family that is a little bit powerful in Germany. I can say that. So I could start the process, but this time I did not tell anybody at all. That family was living in Dusseldorf. So I started the process all of a sudden again, but now I had my A1 German, so I didn't need to do it. Wow. And one day we're going to talk about my A1 German. Those who were with me at Goethe Institute in Nairobi, they know I got 100 out of 100 in German A1.
Because of how determined you were.
Yes, like nothing was going to stop me from going to Germany. And then when I got this new family, we wrote, they sent me all the needed documents. And then I prepared, I went to the interview. And at the interview, I met a girl. She was like, this is my 6th time I'm trying to get the visa. I was like, oh, Jesus. You did not tell me that. And then I went in. I had an interview with a guy from Berlin. And he told me, it was such a nice interview. And he told me, because I was coming in around November, he was like, you're going to love the Christmas markets. I mean, we're going to tell you shortly about Germany. you're gonna love the Christmas markets. I was like, oh yeah. And you're gonna drink something called Gluva. And I was like, oh yeah. And I'm like, I don't even get what he's saying. We don't have Christmas market. We don't have hot drinks.
Hot wine.
What hot alcoholic drinks we don't have.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh wow. And then he told me, please make sure you visit Berlin, because I was going to Dusseldorf. I was like, yes, I will. I didn't even know Berlin is the capital city. I was so ignorant. I just knew I want to get out. I was just determined. My focus was, we are relocating. Yeah. And then 3 weeks later, I got a phone call from the lady from the embassy. She was like, hey, Caroline, I have some good news for you. And you got your long-term visa. I was like,
did you?
Bruh, can I come get it right now? She was like, no, we're closing soon. Come tomorrow. I was so over the moon. I guess that is the first day I spoke in tongues. You're happy.
I can't imagine.
So I was so over the moon. And the thing is, I had done everything alone. So the satisfaction of it's your dream, you've worked for it, and now it's happening.
It's like looking at your goal and achieving it.
Yeah, and working on it yourself. And then I called my parents. I'm like, I need money for a flight to Germany. My mom was like, Ukona kicha? My mom was like,
translation, are you mad?
Are you mad? To Germany to where? Are you getting married?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, I'm going. And then I explained to her, like, really? You did it for yourself? Like, she was so she was shocked, but at the same time, wow, who's this baby? Like, she might.
Because she's always thought you are a baby. And now she's like, how did you do it by yourself?
Like,
oh, congratulations. I'm also really like, and it's within a very short
time. It's called determination. Girl, determination. Until you cannot be determined anymore. We'll talk about that some other time. So, and then I fly to Germany. So before I tell you what happened to me in Germany, that I had to go back to Kenya after only 4 days.
Really?
Yeah. Can you maybe tell us how now you've got your agent, you're preparing for your visa. How did it go until you get the visa, until now it's time to fly?
So last minute, like I said, I was going to Canada. So all along I've been preparing to go to Canada.
Yes.
And then the last minute when my dad is supposed to like pay my school fees for me to go to Canada, he says, well, no, this is all the idea. You need to choose somewhere else. I'm not confident.
Your dad?
Yeah. And he's like,
why?
No,
why that sudden change of mind?
He was like, no, it's not a master's. I want something with a master's in it.
Okay, yeah.
So I was like, okay, but dad, all along, we've been speaking. Why do you, mom, please try to convince my brother. Like I was trying to tell everyone, like try to convince that it's actually a really good idea.
Yeah.
And then he said, no, I'm going to pay for anything, but not like anything less of a master's. Yeah. And then I had to go back to the drawing board. And this is supposed to go really fast. So because I'm running out of time, and I also, because already my mind was fixated on like, I want to move out. Yeah. And I think for me, my drive was independence. I craved independence outside. Yeah.
Me, I thought there's money on trees abroad. That's what you go.
Oh my
because
gosh.
everybody was like, they are glowing when they're in Europe. So I was like, wait, money grows on. It's summer glow. I didn't know. In Kenya we have summer all year long.
All year.
But the thing is, for me, my motivation was money. I swear to God.
Really?
Yeah.
But honestly, I feel like it doesn't really matter.
I know now. There is expectations. I expected when I come to Europe like this. First year is me and a moti. Second year, I'm building a house for my mom. What you talking about?
You have a house in Karen. What are you talking about?
I'm holidaying here and there. See, I was watching movies.
Yeah.
I thought movies is reality. I came here and shock on me.
And I think also at the time is when, I feel like still, that was when like the social media pressure was, getting there. Yeah. And like you see so many people when they relocate and like, this is the lifestyle they're living, and you're like, okay, well.
But also most people that I was watching that have relocated, they were married. So, they have like a huge support behind it. But you're coming in your own independent way, like you're coming to hustle. So so now Canada has failed.
So now I go back to the agents and I'm like, well, Dad did not agree to it, so we need to choose another country. And they take me through all the countries that they have, and then there was Australia. Yeah. And my dad is a very typical Kikuyu guy. This guy, you have to bring all the books, take into accounting, bring all the
Yeah.
treasury bills. We're even almost like asking Ruto for like what's the treasury bill for 2023 for him to actually agree to pay for you. So I was like, Australian, I was like, too expensive.
Yeah.
This country, I don't feel it.
Yeah.
So eventually I was like, okay, let's go to German. So I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
And then I asked like, is German a requirement? And they're like, no, be comfortable.
Yeah,
You don't have
okay.
to speak German.
That's
So
nice.
and the school teaches in English too. And also, you know, you'll be in the capital, so it will be very interesting. And my dad was like, yeah, I love that you will be in the capital. That's where you should be. You know,
Yeah.
it's just like you go
Big
to
city.
yeah, big city. Because you're a big girl.
Yeah.
So he really enjoyed, like he really
The idea.
yeah, encouraged the idea for Germany. So I was like, you know, because honestly, and I always feel like I'm not one person who like plans ahead, because I never wanted actually to come to abroad at all when I was younger. I thought my sisters would, but yeah, I was like, oh, it's so boring.
Really?
I don't like the supremacists, like how white supremacies are taken. Like when I see back home, how people treat, like, you know, people who come from these countries.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't want to be kissing ass when I go there. So I really wasn't like for the idea.
You're not feeling it at all.
Yeah, but then when it came, I was like, you know, if this is what independence means, then I was ready. Yeah. So, and then I applied for a visa, and I didn't get a response. And my school was starting on like 11th of July.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my visa yet, I think by 8th of the same month. So, and then I think on
3 days away.
Yeah. And then I think on 9th, they called me and they're like, hey, I had given up on the idea. I was like, that visa is not even coming. I'm already moving on. I'm not even thinking about it.
Relocating
and then
anymore.
and then they call me on 9th and they're like, yo, you got your visa, come get it. And now my dad is like, you got your visa?
Yeah.
You're
book a flight.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
Yeah.
I'm not ready. I didn't even shop for anything.
Yeah.
What do people shop for? I didn't know, like, you're supposed to carry unga, braids, you know.
Royco is important.
I was like, ugali.
Yeah.
So when I go to pick my visa, and then I have to do my hair on the same date. I didn't even have like a farewell party. Mine was so quick. Yeah.
Me too. I didn't have a farewell party, but I made sure everybody brought me to the airport.
Yeah, but people didn't have time because literally, like, I had so just quick. Just one day, and then I had to take a flight on 10th. So got 9th, 10th. I was flying out. Yeah.
Oh wow! That was. I thought mine was fast, but that was real fast. Yeah, nice. So for me, I flew. The first city that I landed in Germany.
Wait. Yeah. So now we've booked a flight.
Yeah.
Your mom, she thought you're mad.
Yeah.
And then now she stopped thinking you're mad.
Yeah, she was like, okay. I explained everything and why I was silent, because the first time somebody jinxed it, I'm not about to let you jinx it again. My enemy is Mushindwe. And then I booked my parents booked my flight, and then they came to Nairobi to bring me to the airport. I felt so I've ever felt like, oh my God, you made it.
Yeah.
I felt like that. They took me to the airport. I didn't even cry because I was so happy. Like, who cry? Mini Kenda Maju, I cry. Forget about it.
Yeah.
Then I went. I landed in Dusseldorf.
Did you?
Yeah, and so before.
Were you scared? Because obviously on the flight you don't know anyone.
I was scared, but I ask a lot of questions. So I'm not the one to shy of things.
Okay.
Yeah. And before that, let me just mention, I had gone to Toy Market. I had bought jackets. See, I'm coming for winter.
Yeah.
The family told us, it's winter, make sure you have some heavy clothes.
Yeah.
So see me, I went, I took what I thought was heavy.
Yeah.
Getting there on the first day, Kwanzaa, I froze, like literally, because whatever I was wearing was winter Kenya.
But even like on the flight, the plane is usually really cold.
Yeah, but I think I was flying a very nice flight because they gave us blankets.
Okay.
Yeah, they gave us blankets. And then so the family picked me up at the airport with flowers, with a big card, welcome Caroline. I was like, I made it the way I see in the movies. So I went with them. The first day you're also excited, and then also jet lagged a little bit, and then also shocked a little bit because you see everything in real for the first time. So the first day I slept through it all, and then the second day.
So now they've picked you. They've taken you to the house.
We had dinner because I arrived in the evening. I was freezing. I arrived in the evening. The next day they let me just take it all in, sleep, wake up slowly. Like they didn't expect anything from me for like a week.
Okay.
And then the second day I'm like, okay, let me just get out of the house. They had a swimming pool. I go walk around. They had like a very huge compound too. So I'm like, oh, let me just walk around. See, I was freezing like this. Okay, it was so cold. I went back.
And you had your winter jackets from back in Kenya.
Yes, so you can imagine. I was literally freezing. They're not even good for herbs. What is for fall? They're not even good enough for fall. Yeah, that's how bad it was. On the third day, they took me a little bit shopping so that I can buy at least heavier stuff for my comfort. But then, unfortunately, on the fourth day, I decided this is not what I signed up for, and I flew back home.
Where did you even get the money to fly back?
I told them to pay me the flight. I was like, I can't take it. You see, when you want something so bad, you create a reality of it in your mind. So when I came here and that was not the reality, I was like,
and this is only because you felt cold.
Yeah, and then culture shock, and then I don't know. I just missed my family and all that, I was like, So 4 days after I went back home, and I told only my sister that I'm going back, and she was like, are you mad? Aren't you the one who was celebrating your leaving? I was like, yeah, but bro, this is not working. Yeah, so I went back after 4 days, and I stayed home for 2 weeks contemplating, should I go? Luckily I had a multiple entry visa, so I was like, should I go back? Then my sister gave me a pep talk. She was like, this is your dream, and nobody said it's going to be a straight line. It's going to be up and down. It's you to decide whether you're going to follow your dream or winter is going to make you stay here. Then I was like,
so the family back in Düsseldorf, are they comfortable with? Were they like, oh,
yeah, they were very supportive. They were, but also the family is quite weird. They gave me an Volvo XC70, like an au pair car. I was like, well, do you know what I've been driving back home? Why are you giving me this big car? They shocked me also, And then the husband of the wife walked there that day with only boxers. Me, I was like, I can see I'm about to be put in the storage, Juko. I got a social, the stories we hear. Hey, Germans will put you in a storage and just come and fuck you up, I was like, hey, he's coming down with a boxer. Oh my God.
I know.
The next thing is me with some chains like this somewhere. So it could.
And he was just like walking normally, obviously. And he's thinking, well.
Yes. And I'm like, God, Jesus. I mean, we're going to tell you about the changes that we've experienced here. And then all these combined with the cold, I was like, you know what? I'm going back home. And I went back home. And then after the pep talk, I came to Berlin. And that was the best decision ever, because 5 years down the line, I am still in Berlin and I love it here.
Oh, I'm happy you came back.
Yeah.
I mean, that shows some type of resilience.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it's actually quite the opposite. I came expecting really bad stuff, like, because on the internet when you Google, it's almost people always like relate Germany to, back in the year when it was really strict and there was a lot of racism and all that. So I was expecting, like, because I also watched like TikTok videos.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I had Google like what to expect. I really expected worse. So when I got here, I didn't know anyone, and then I got to the airport, and there were two ladies who were speaking in Swahili or Kikuyu. I can't remember.
At the airport already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then I was trying to look like for a cab, and I was like, oh my gosh, this big airport. What am I supposed to do when I'm here? And then they're like, oh, and then they're like, you kind of look like Ashley. And I was like, no, I'm not Ashley, but I had to speak Swahili. Help me, because I can't get. And they're like, yeah, let's bring your bags.
Nice.
And then now, they put me on a train. they were like, "Where are you going?" I was going to a hotel because we didn't have any accommodation. So, and then when I got to the airport, and I was really nervous.
Yeah.
And then when they spoke, obviously, and then they tell me, you haven't. Do you have a ticket? And I'm like, what am I?
Yeah,
And then they were like,
ticket.
"You're gonna get arrested." So
Yeah.
that for me was now where the big transition began.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
I can imagine. I mean, I've been there, I've done that.
Yeah.
So guys, there is a lot, of course, to talk. I mean, we are now in Germany. What happens next? Please catch the continuation on our next episode. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and also share with a friend.
Okay. And from us to you.
Bye bye.